Welcome to this edition of the State of Soy. I'm Putze. When the Iowa Soybean Association says it is driven to deliver, we mean that we're helping farmers grow more soybeans and sell more soybeans and doing it profitably. And that really begins with the work of research and Iowa Soybean Association's Research Center for Farming Innovation. Ed, as you look at the season we have been in and as we're transitioning into harvest season, what has surprised you so far from a research standpoint?
Well, thanks, Aaron, and it's a great time of year, this harvest season, and farmers get excited. We all get excited to be out in the field. Among the things that are surprising us the most are these higher than expected yields in some of the real droughty areas, and both on the corn and soybean side. So far, we're hearing some not so good news, but a lot of really good news on high yielding corn and high yielding soybeans, and that always makes life fun when you're harvesting. I think the second thing strictly on the soybean side is we're seeing a lot of disease out there. Guys can't do anything about that now, of course, but they sure want to pay attention to what those areas were, what those diseases were this year, so that they can plan for some of their management strategies going into the next season.
So farmers are heading into the field. The USDA is saying that Iowa soybean farmers may be a total harvest of 530 million bushels is kind of what they're pegging this year's harvest. As farmers are in the field bringing in this year's soybean crop, what do you advise them that they look for? What do they scout for when they're in the field?
The number one piece of advice I think we'll give farmers this year is, as you're going through and you're watching your yield monitor, don't get hasty, don't make any rash decisions. Come back to us or spend some time yourself and let's analyze that data. Let's really look at some of the disease scouting results that you had earlier in the year. Let's really just take some time, analyze the data, look at what's going on, look what went on in that field during the year, and then we'll hopefully make some really good integrated management decisions on genetics to plant next year, inputs to choose, fertility, all of those kinds of things. So take some time.
And before we know it, Ed, we're going to be transitioning from harvest season into meeting season with farmers. So as farmers are thinking about ways to engage with the Research Center for Farming Innovation as we move into the winter months and they start thinking about all too soon that 2020 crop season, how do you look forward to engaging with farmers during the winter months?
Yeah, great. So engagement is where our teams really partner, and that's where the rubber meets the road and really helping farmers for the coming season. So last year, your team helped us, and we spent a lot of time on our webinars. It allows us to get across the state to a lot of farmers and not spend a lot of time on the highway. We're going to continue those webinars. We're going to continue that electronic outreach, some Zoom meetings. We're going to be in contact with farmers on smaller groups, one-on-one basis. But then we're also going to be working again with you in partnership to bring our farmers together in a centralized location. We haven't decided exactly where yet, but we want to have a winter meeting for farmers to come together and talk about production ag, some of the new technologies in digital ag and ag technology, biotechnology, some things that are coming out that they can be looking at.
Last question, you're a soybean superhero,
oh, yeah.
Right? If there was one disease or one crop management issue that you could solve for the soybean farmer in the next 30 days, what would it be?
Wow, I mean, SDS is a lot more prevalent this year than we thought it might be. Although given some of the environmental conditions, maybe not so surprising. Working with farmers and companies and academics to really focus on an integrated weed management strategy. Herbicide-resistant weeds still plague us out there. I think we have some cool ideas, some cool technologies and opportunities, but it's getting the word out, getting farmers to practice some of these integrated approaches. I don't know if I can give you one silver bullet, one type of thing, but I think we're all going to be employed for a while because there's plenty of challenges and opportunities to work on.
That there is. Well, I tell you what, that's what drives the Iowa Soybean Association is there's always issues to work on as we're led and directed by the farmers that we serve. For the Iowa Soybean Association in this edition of the State of Soy, I'm Putze.
Progress is a human invention. We look at our world and we imagine how to make it better. That's the power of human ingenuity. We can redefine what's possible. At Bayer, we're shaping the future of agriculture, like farms where all life grows together. It's not impossible, it's progress